Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about you promised me a tip. Man says UberEats driver ate his food, then asked for a tip. Once again, we have another display of why no tip, no trip is a thing in combination with food theft. What a shocker. But based on the headline alone, the audacity of the driver is insane. So with that said, I want to go over everything that's being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash UberEats and Grubhub drivers, as well as their corresponding customers, restaurants, and the platforms in which they work on, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Food delivery drivers for popular applications like Doordash and UberEats have unfortunately been caught in the past before eating a customer's food. And while there are plenty of social media clips speaking to these acts of food theft from the customer side, there are also surveys where food delivery drivers themselves admit to nibbling on the wares purchased by the customers they're supposed to be bringing meals. Okay, first off, the survey in which they conducted was 500 delivery drivers in Chicago, which that could be misconstrued and misrepresented in a bunch of different ways, and is not a fair representation of all drivers, especially with how the media tends to discriminate against gig workers. A TikToker who goes by Jeff at Jeff says that they, unfortunately, are another victim of food delivery theft. What makes their story especially egregious, Jeff states in a viral TikTok that's accrued over 315,000 views, is that the driver in question not only helped himself to Jeff's food, but that he returned to his home, knocked on his door, and asked him for a tip. The things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. First off, if any driver is expecting a tip after service, I don't care what the reason is, that is a stupid expectation. The only people that tip after service is the people that tip before. No matter what stupid commenters say, it's irresponsible to actually work with them under any circumstances. Second, if you ate somebody else's food for any reason, you shouldn't be on the platform. You don't mess with other people's food. But the combination of the two is just embarrassing. Doordash cold as F for the selection of they employees. Jeff writes in the text overlay of their TikTok. The video begins with the TikToker looking into the camera, a video snippet of them superimposed over a green screen of a text message conversation between himself and the driver. There is a lot of red flags from this right off the bat. First and foremost, Doordash cold as F for the selection of they employees. We're not employees, we're independent contractors. We could say no to your order. This person didn't. He should have, but we'll go into that in a bit. Second, I will tip you when you get here, meaning that you had absolutely no intention of tipping him to begin with. That's a fact. And third, Uber bicycle. This is an Uber bicycle delivery, and you're calling out Doordash. Honestly, I think that this entire video is gonna be completely fake, but we're gonna go over all of that.
So y'all know how earlier I posted and I was talking my bullshit about DoorDash, right? So this is another reason why I do not order from DoorDash, right? So I asked the man, I said, can you please get 4 barbecue sauces, please? He said, okay, got it. And I told him I will tip you when you get here. Because half of the time, DoorDash people, they be forgetting everything. And if you forget anything that I asked you for, baby, best believe, no tip.
So this is a no tip customer right off the bat. That he's looking for any and every reason in the world to claim that it's justifiable for him not to tip. His order should not have been accepted anyway, so the driver's at fault in that, right? But honestly, I'm calling cap on the entirety of the situation as a whole. Second, DoorDash people don't forget everything. They don't pack the bag. That's a stupid expectation. The fact that you can't get that through your skull shows that your intelligence is as limited as your ability to tip. He says that he felt bad for the Los Angeles-based delivery driver because it was raining at the time. He asked the UberEats employee to deliver his food, and to make matters worse, the person was delivering his food via bicycle. He says that this is why he decided to let the worker know that he was going to give him a tip, because Jeff didn't want him thinking he was going to go through all that effort to deliver his meal and not receive some type of additional compensation for his effort on top of it. First off, the Uber Eats bicyclist is an independent contractor, not an employee. This writer specifically, I have done so many articles on him, and he insists on being so freaking useless in terms of understanding our business model. And he goes out of his way so frequently to misrepresent gig workers on such a grand level. It's basically slander everything that he does. The way he frames everything is kind of embarrassing. Second, any bicyclist of any kind, I don't care where you are, even with Prop 22 in California, if you're an LA-based delivery driver, you shouldn't be taking no-tip orders. It's no tip, no trip. Not no tip, take the order anyway and begrudgingly do it. Not no tip, eat the customer's food, then deliver it. Not no tip, ask for a cash tip later. No tip, no trip. It's that simple.
Mind y'all, I got a fucking 12 count, bro. There's one is halfway, but this how I know he ate my food. I'm irritated. This is crazy as fuck. One is bitten off low-key in this motherfucker. Then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.5.
What I find interesting is that Chick-fil-A specifically is known for sealing their bags airtight. They make sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that no one's getting in there unless you break the seal. So unless you got the bag with the seal broken, I doubt that's what actually took place here. I know this falls into the tinfoil hat category, but this kind of feels like the guy was trying to just get a refund because he's a no-tip customer. That's just what he does. That's the vibe I'm getting from this guy.
Then, bro left the napkin. I guess he was wiping his mouth off with, right? This is confirmed that he ate my shit. The tag was off that said my name. And it got crumbs to the motherfucking chicken nuggets on it. Right? Alright. I ain't even, like, I'm tripping, but I ain't tripping.
The only thing that it proves is that the bag itself was opened. Not necessarily by the driver. You could have opened it and put that stuff in there. I definitely see how this can go either way, but honestly, the vibe I'm getting is that this guy definitely made this happen, you know? He doesn't even know which app he's ordering from, claiming that's a Doordash order. He doesn't even have his story straight.
But Joe, if he has all the answers, that means he rehearsed it, right? That's more of a red flag than him not having his full story straight.
I don't know. I feel like he's got plenty of the answers right off the bat.
But this is where it gets better at, y'all. Do y'all know that motherfucker came back to the door and said, "You promised me a tip"? I didn't argue with that man. I closed the door in his face. Cause you ate my shit, and then you come back to the door talking about yo tip.
How do you know at that point, from the point that you got the order handed to you, sealed in bag, that he ate the food? I definitely think he's faking this whole thing. And this is just yet again a no-tip customer claiming that the driver ate their food just so they can receive a refund. Because why not play the victim card on the internet, right?
Not to mention, y'all, bro forgot to give me my 4 barbecue sauces. So it's like, yeah, we really got smoked. That was so disrespectful. So now I'm on my way to go get me some more fucking food because I paid $22 for Robert to eat my food. And he still wanted a tip.
Again, this is just a no-tip customer trying to pretend as if he was going to tip, even though he wasn't going to tip, because that's the kind of piss-poor integrity and character that the failures of no-tip customers tend to be. It's one thing if you don't tip, right? I don't like that you don't tip, but it's one thing if you don't tip. But if you're gonna pretend as if you're going to tip, you're just a piece of crap. You really are just a piece of crap, and you're not worth working with. At all. I really wish Robert just declined your order, to be honest. I wish your order was just sitting on the shelf of shame, but I guess that's not happening here. At the end of the video, he posted a screenshot of his Uber Eats order detailing where the meal came from and what he paid for it. Viewers who saw this post were horrified by Jeff's experience with the delivery driver. One person wrote, "This is trifling. He did not give a F." Well, let's pretend that it's true for a second. Yeah, he didn't give an F, and he shouldn't have ate your order. But we're gonna throw the driver under the bus because we have no factual evidence displaying that the driver ate his food, when in reality what probably happened was this no-tip customer was just trying to play victim for a while to get a refund. There were those who said, however, that they never experienced issues while ordering through the service. Uber Eats never gives me this problem, wrote one user. Probably because you tip your driver and don't try to play stupid games like this. Like claiming that you're gonna tip after, or trying to get some stupid refund method. This is why you decline the order and that's the end of it. And also, going back to the barbecue sauce point, how do you know he didn't get you barbecue sauce and you just refuse to acknowledge the fact that he gave you barbecue sauce? It's just this kind of crap that proves that the piss poor integrity and character that no-tip customers tend to operate upon is literally evident of that. You can't work with them. Someone who said they were a Chick-fil-A employee remarks that they work for the chicken fast food chain, that if the seal is broken on the bag, then customers should refrain from eating it. I work at CFA. If that red seal on the bag is ever broken or anything, please don't eat it, they wrote. And that should be a red flag right off the bat, because if that's the case, that would be the indicator. But how is he even going to break the bag, eat the food, and get to the customer while at the same time delivering your order via bike in the rain? This guy's story has so many holes in it, it's embarrassing. There were people, however, who couldn't believe that the driver would do such a poor job covering up the fact that they ate a customer's order. However, leaving the evidence in the bag is crazy work, one person wrote. Leaving the crumb napkin is villainous, another penned. So let me get this straight. The people watching this sees a driver on a bicycle on Uber Eats, which they're talking about DoorDash, not Uber Eats, but this is an Uber Eats delivery. They're going to show this driver on a bike delivering the food while at the same time eating on the way there on the bike, putting the evidence in the bag. And the driver's expecting a tip, by the way, because he's driving all this in the rain. And by the way, that bag looks drier than the Sahara Desert. I gotta tell you, this guy seems as fake as a old woman's Botox. Someone else said that they once caught the driver in the act of leaving the food that they just delivered, even after snapping a photo of it to make it look like they completed the delivery. I ordered Wingstop once from DoorDash, paid $40, and the driver was about to take a picture and take the food. I opened the door real quick, LOL, they wrote. You mean a driver was trying to conduct a contactless delivery and he was trying to take a picture of the food and you came out as he was doing that? Oh my god, what a shocker. One TikToker recently went viral after uploading the caught in 4K footage of the driver enjoying her sushi order. Another confronted their delivery driver for allegedly indulging in some of the cookies that they ordered. And then there was this Uber Eats delivery worker who purportedly took a sip of a patron's drink. There are an endless number of stories of drivers taking other people's food. Whether it's factually accurate or not is irrelevant, apparently, because anybody who can write a headline can get people to look at their content. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. There are so many red flags, so many holes in his story that won't let me believe that this is actually the case. The guy was on a bike. It was raining. You think that he ate your food while on a bike in the rain, and then he left the evidence in the bag as opposed to just either keeping it or throwing it out. All while on a bike, by the way. This is still on a bike on a platform that we didn't even talk about. You were trying to reveal an Uber Eats driver and claiming it's a DoorDash driver, like it's literally the overlay, DoorDash, and right at the top, it's Uber Eats and showing the Uber Eats platform. It's just so many holes. I don't think it's responsible to believe that this is actually what happened. But this is also exactly why you don't take no-tip customers, because anybody's stupid enough to believe that delivery drivers do this. They don't actually look at the facts and the details. They just accept it at face value. But in terms of the driver, Robert, he shouldn't have taken the order. He should have said no to the order. I know that a lot of people in California prefer the overall system of just taking whatever order and getting as much money as possible from Prop 22, because that's just kind of what they want. But honestly, you can't live like that, man. It's no tip, no trip. Not no tip, eat somebody else's food. Let's assume that it's real for a second. Not no tip, do the order begrudgingly. Not no tip, expect the tip after and and believe them when they say it. No tip, no trip. It's that simple. These kind of customers are genuinely dangerous to work with because you can get deactivated based on the face value of what took place here. Even though it seems 100% inaccurate, and Jack Albon should be truly disappointed in his inability to understand our business model and calling us employees, but I think too many people don't get that already. All in all, just make sure you're declining any no-tip customers because you don't want to be on the receiving end of a scumbag like this. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!